I'm live. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to Melting the Ice, a place where we melt away our insecurities here, so things are holding us back our fears, and then we emerge as better, healthier, happier versions of ourselves. If that sounds good to you, welcome. I hope you had the best day ever, or I hope you're about to have the best day ever. Let's get right into it. Sis. Overriding the subconscious desire to feel. Overriding the subconscious desire to feel. Because I feel like, first of all, I want us to admit some of us here have subconscious desires to feel. Okay, and that could be in any areas of our lives. It could be in one area, maybe in 10 areas of your life. You don't have that subconscious programming. But then there's this one place in your life where it's there. It's very much there. It's prevalent. You know it's there. You can feel it. Not only can you feel it, but you can see how it's holding you back in many ways in your life. Even though sometimes you can't really pinpoint your finger on it. You're like, I see it, but how do we override that subconscious desire? Because chances are everything you have in your life, everything you're experiencing, part of you wants it. Okay. Let me just start my notes. So part of you wants it. Let me do this. Part of you wants it. Part of you wants it. Now you're like, how can I want these terrible things that happen to me? This failure. So that I was just thinking, I was like, part of you wants to prove to yourself that you actually can't do this. So when you decide to do that big thing, that thing that terrified you, for whatever reason, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna jump in. Like I'm gonna go forward. I'm not gonna look back. Because when you look back, we try to look back and say, oh, what like try to look back and analyze every single thing and overanalyze and see the reasons why you're not capable, you turn to stone, you freeze, you can't move, you become numb. When you decide that, I'm gonna cross the path of the line of no return. I'm going to jump, I'm going to do the thing I said I was going to do. There's still those parts that are trying to get you to feel, just to prove to your ego that yes, it was right. But see, we don't like to be wrong. Our egos don't like to be wrong. So if you've had this false identity, that was telling you that, oh, you're not good enough, that was telling you that, oh, you can't really create great things, when you begin to do something great, you're going to doubt yourself. Not because what you're doing is bad, not because what you're doing is bad or wrong or not beneficial, but because you have identities that are supporting the story of you can't really do anything useful. You can't do anything that is past a certain level. You can't fly past a certain threshold. And that's what you're believing. And because you're believing those things, you can't pass these identities. Okay, these identities have huge egos. And the thing is that they will not let you have results that are not aligned with identities, right? Let's say you have an identity, because we have multiple of these identities within ourselves. Let's say one of them, for example, is you are bad, right? An example. Or I don't know, you will always be fat. Some terrible things like that. Always be fat, unhealthy, you can't like you have no power, things like that. You have no power, have no power. Um And then now you're starting, I don't know, let's say a real estate business, or you're opening a restaurant, right? And now you're like, oh, I make good food, right? Which is very different from that ego's identity of you. I make good food. Actually, I'm not fat. I'm pretty healthy because I feed people. You mean healthy food. Um, Actually, you don't have the power. Actually, I have a lot of power. I have the power to create the best restaurant I was born to create, to serve nourishing foods and to have fun doing it. I have that power. And do you see how this goes completely against the ego's perception? This goes completely against the false self, against the false identity. It goes completely against all of that. And some of us think, oh my God, we just have to wait. Okay. When this ego begins to rebel and telling you that you are not these things, you're not good, you can't have the power to make healthy food, you're not healthy, and begin to sabotage you by changing the way you perceive things, changing the way you see things. Part of you would be thinking that, oh, but just sit down and leave it, things will get better. Things always get better. And that is very true. Things always get better, but some things have to be dealt with. Some things have to be faced head on, and this is one of them. Because if you, the more you leave these things, the more they will fester. Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna go and just start to hustle your way out of it. And no, I'm saying that you're gonna have to have a system to be able to overcome this, to be able to override this out of your system. Some things don't have to be fixed, but they do need you do need an override in that part of your life. Because for as long as you keep having these false identities that are telling you all of these things about yourself, the desire to fail will always be there. Because these identities will always lead to you failing at some point and you not reaching the full potential of what you wanted to do. You will never reach the full potential. That is so sad. You will never reach your full potential. For as long as you keep tying yourself to these identities. Because they will never let you reach your full potential. Because then you reaching your full potential, you reaching and becoming you being good, which is your truth, you being amazing, which is your truth, you being healthy, you being powerful, you having choices, you being able to change your life is directly the opposite of what they want for you. It's directly the opposite of the stories you've had playing for years. So that's why it can never happen. And even some of it happens, it's only a matter of time before you destroy the restaurant in one way or the other. It's only a matter of time before you destroy your health, either by eating junk food and I don't know, gaining a bunch of weight that is never meant to be there, or by forgetting that you have your power. You might have had a good streak for some time, and then you become exhausted. Something you can do in this moment is that bring the whole of you to the table. Bring your body, your mind, and your soul to the table. And in those moments where you can tell that egotistical part of you is trying to sabotage what you're creating, you need to nourish yourself. You need to give yourself, go for a walk. You need to hug yourself. You need to love yourself because right now you're in the middle of spiritual warfare, and it is a warfare. Because now at this point it's like light versus darkness. What will win? Will the false identities win? Because there are more of them, or will you win? Right now, I'm in the midst of doing an amazing course called God Override. In fact, I don't even want to call it because the whole transmission, 4 days of complete transformation, where we override our fears, override our limiting beliefs, override the desire to constantly weigh the performance, the spirals, where we just go into negativity and stay there and expand it and make it grow and nourish it, right? We completely override that. Instead of trying to fix it, overriding is above fixing. Overriding is just we're going to surrender at the atomic level, surrender at the cellular level, and tomorrow is day 3. Today was day 2, and today we spoke about overriding the performance, and that was absolutely spectacular because I was so grateful because someone was kind enough to put on their camera and share what was in their heart, and it was a beautiful exchange, which I think you can benefit from. Because this performance that we put on our faces, this mask that we actually wear, they hold us back in so many ways. Because when you keep wearing a mask, you can't ever allow yourself fully to be the best version of yourself. Not let me maybe say that again. When you keep wearing a mask, you can't ever be seen as the real you. That mask becomes your prison. You wore the mask because you felt like this mask will make your life better, because you'll be liked more, because you'll be seen in a certain way. But then that mask becomes a prison. Because now your mind, body, and your soul cannot get the adequate nourishment from that mask. Because the mask only wants to be this way. Because it feels like this is how it has to be to receive what it thinks it needs to receive from others. But that is not even the case. So today we really broke those down and we helped you completely override the performance. At the end of each day, we have a meditation where I guide you to completely override the performance, to completely let it go. In fact, allow God to come in and override the performance. We do all throughout the call. We soften you. We help you completely. I hope you say we, but yeah, me and God actually. So we help you soften. We help you open your heart. Yeah, we help you open your heart and realize that you don't have to hold on to the mask anymore. You don't have if you don't want to. If you decide that you're actually done holding on to this mask, if you decide that you're ready for more, if you feel like it's time for you to take off this mask, it's time for you to try a new way of living, not by doing more. And I talk about even day 1 would completely transform you. Every day is building on top of each other to help you completely break out of your shell. Because if you keep going this way, life will break you. And that will not be fun. That's why it's so important for you to surrender now, to allow light to enter those places in your life where you felt there would be no light. It's time for you to surrender those parts of you to God. And I invite you in God override. I'm still getting very emotional right now, so I think I have to go. And I think I will do a part two of this tomorrow. God help me. I'll do a part two of this tomorrow. But I just don't want to break down right now. There's a lot I have to share. And I think I'll share everything tomorrow. The link to God override is down below. Okay, join. Right now, I didn't even say it's $11 until August 11th. And if you join today, if you decide to join today, then you get to join us tomorrow live. You get to ask your questions. You get to be present. You get to expand. You get to stretch and become a whole new person, transform. Not by doing more, but by surrendering deeper, by reigning deeper into who you were always born to be. On August 11th, the prize becomes 111, which is $111. $111 on August 11th. So you really want to save your spot now if you think it's something you're interested in. But even on August 11th, what I'm offering you, like on day one, for example, each day was supposed to be 1 hour, and then day four was supposed to be 2 hours. But so far on day one, I've done almost 2 hours. On day two, we've gone almost 2 hours again. So we're giving so much more than what I expected to be giving, me and God. So I hope that this experience something that can truly benefit you. I really hope that if you do decide to join, that it's something that transforms the way you see yourself, transforms the way you move in the world, and that the teachings in the course are really able to not only stick with you, but really glue within you and find place in every cell of your body. That way, not only does it change the way not only does it change the way you act, but changes the way you completely perceive the world. Now, effortlessly change your actions to be actions that are in aligned with who you need to be and where you need to go. So it's 4 days, and on the August 10th, this is Sunday, is the last day. But then the recordings will always be there forever. And you can always access the course recordings. Right now, if you decide to join, day one and day two are available for you to rewatch. That's like almost 4 hours of content at this point. Absolutely amazing. So I hope you do join and benefit from it if you feel it's for you. I'm gonna go now, and tomorrow I'll see you in God Override, and I'll see you here on YouTube. Bye, my loves. Yeah.